LA's other team took Boston to the limit earlier this year at the Garden before the Celtics pulled out an exciting 2-point win. Since then, the Clippers star guard Ron Harper has returned, and his team is poised for the big payback. The Celtics are coming off a successful homestand where they won 4 out of 5 games. 2 of those wins were keyed by the scintillating play of rookie D. Brown, filling in at the point guard spot for an injured Brian Shaw.
Larry's on fire. Reggie's playing well. Get Brian back. Kevin is coming, more and more every game, and I'm trying to improve my game. I think we'll be all right out west.
Tonight, the Celtics look to sail past the Clippers en route to conquering the West again. Against the Clippers.
Welcome to the Los Angeles Sports Arena, where tonight the Celtics start the first of a 5-game road trip against the Los Angeles Clippers. Hi, everybody. I'm Tommy Heinsohn, and once again, I'll be working with my partner, Bob Cousy. And Coos, the Celtics struggled to beat the Clippers the last time at the Boston Garden, managed to do it by only 2 points. This is not a team to be taken lightly.
No, it may be tougher even tonight as far as the Celtics are concerned, Tommy, because the Clippers have only won 20, but they're a team that can put points on the board. You can come in on the road against the club and do all the right things and play as well as you can and still not come out with a win. This is a game that's winnable if you concentrate on the basics, defense and rebounding. In Boston, they were out-rebounded and outshot. The 2 matchups they're going to have problems with, inside people, Manning and Smith, very tough. Keep your eye on that. Also, this team wants to get into an open court situation. They've got 2 guys in Harper, who's superb, and Grant, who function very effectively in the open court. So transitional defense is also going to be important.
What do you look for from the Celtics tonight?
Well, they, conversely, also want to do their running thing in that defensively, they can pretty much do, I think, as they please, but they've got to focus on a transitional game. This team does not get back well, and they don't pick up well even after they get back. So you can catch them on a lot of quick open shots, and I think this is what they're going to have to focus on.
Well, earlier this evening, you had an opportunity to talk to Chris Ford about tonight's game.
Coach, we're back in a big bad West here with people down and people playing hurt. How does that change the game plan?
We just have to continue to go out there and be focused. I thought the last West Coast trip we came out and did very well because we focused in on the defensive end of the floor. And we're going to have to do that again starting tonight. The Clippers are struggling record-wise, but they still have some players who can put up some points, particularly Charles Smith, Danny Manning, and Ron Harper, guys who have hurt us over the year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as a matter of fact, in Boston, we were kind of lucky to get out of there with a 2-point win. They outshot us and they out-rebounded us. What adjustments have to be made?
I think that we have to take them seriously from the beginning, and we have to establish that we're going to play tough, aggressive defense, particularly in the perimeter people. They're a team that will come down and take the first available shot. So if you play good pressure defense on them, maybe get them to splinter and even take more bad shots, and then we will have to attack the defensive board and then get out and run.
Their transition defensively is not the best in the league, so we obviously want to get it down here.
That's right. We want to try to attack them, but on the other hand, they're pretty good at pushing the ball off the floor, particularly with Ron Harper. I remember his days when he was with the Cavs. Yeah. On the open floor, he is very dangerous.
Okay, if I say to you, you don't have to play these games, I'll give you 3 out of 5. Would you take it?
Not really. I'm hoping to get all 5.
That's the way. You got to be greedy. Let's go get them, Coach.
Well, we'll see just how greedy the Celtics want to be. But first, back to Jimmy. Arena in Los Angeles, California, where the Clippers first came back from a 4-game road trip. They were 1 win and 3 losses on that trip. The Celtics hoping to get things going strongly here. The officials for tonight's ball game will be Louis Grillo, Wally Rooney in the middle, and Ken Mauer. And the starting lineups for Boston: D. Brown once again taking the place of the injured Brian Shaw, Reggie Lewis, Robert Parish at center, Kevin Gamble, he's under the gun, and Larry Bird. Gary Grant will start at the point guard for the Clippers. Ron Harper with a bad knee. Olden Polynice, recently acquired from Seattle. Danny Manning inserted into the starting lineup a few games ago, and a real tough guy, Charles Smith, at the power forward. We're looking at Chris Ford as he's looking down at the introduction of the Clipper players. But a different type basketball team, Kuz. The Clippers now with Olden Polynice instead of Benign Ben.
Yeah, Ben is gone, and Casey inherited him in Seattle, and good luck. He has been putting numbers on the board, I noticed there. I don't know if he's been putting the rebounds up as effectively, but he was doing that here before the goal this year. It's what happened prior to this year that they had the difficulty with. Ron Harper had a cute remark when Polynice came over. He said, now I know we've got the All Ugly Team award locked in, so we'll have to wait and see. I didn't see much of Polynice when he was playing for Seattle. He didn't play that much with them.
Well, he looks, yeah, you see him right in your screen, Coos. I wouldn't mention that to Olden, however.
Well, he's no Harry Boykoff, but there's a name out of the past.
Who is, right? Okay, the starting lineups and the most important of matchups, I think, for Boston. Who is going to defend Bird and who is going to defend Kevin Gamble and vice versa. Key matchups there, Coos.
Yeah, I agree, as we said on top. Also, a continuing good test for D. Brown, who has done very well since Shaw went out. But hey, here's the road, here's out west. It gets a little tougher, and the pressure mounts here for the young point guard.
Bird will be defended by Charles Smith. Knocked away by Smith. They get to Reggie. Harper's on him. Polynice will defend Robert Parish. Quick double team. Pulled down by Manning. And Grant will be defended by D. Brown. Bird will take Smith. And he muscles his way to the opening hoop of the game.
That's the first matchup the Celtics are going to have difficulty with. The other one is the Gamble-Manning match, as we've told you. So keep an eye on both of them. We might have McHale in there quicker than normal.
Bird pops out. They're attacking inside. Quick double team again. Parish 0 for 2 now. Here comes Harper. Reggie picks him up. Smith on the box. Quickly it goes to D. Brown. A drop off D. Good look by D. Brown, and he ties it up at 2 as they're giving ground to D. Brown early.
Always nice to get that first one under your belt when you're under pressure, and he got nothing but net and showed good confidence in putting it up there and letting it fly.
D. Brown tied on Grant. Here comes Harper off the pick. Parish forced to pick him up. Now it goes inside to Manning. It'll be Boston ball, I believe. Yes, it is. But they forced a couple of mismatches. Celtics will really have to defensive rebound in this one. They got a lot of big people up front.
Clippers out-rebounded them at home a month ago by 2. Celtics catch a little bit of a break tonight with Ken Norman, their fine power forward, out Bird.
Well, Bird from in the corner looks like he's got his rhythm. Celtics by 2. Here's Grant. Lewis up on Harper. Smith from outside. Tipped by Manning, back out to Grant. Looking low. Polynice one-on-one against Parish. Good up fake, and it's tied at 4.
Good looking move there. Big guy's only averaging 9 a game since he came over here from Seattle. So not really a shooter or a guy they're going to go to, but looked pretty smooth on that move into the paint.
Pick and roll play. Parish turns it to a cut. Back out to Bird. Gives to Parish. And Parish yet to hit the bottom of the net.
Well, he's settling, Tommy. You know, he's settling for that fall-away job when he can get better, I think, against Polynice.
Harper's shot knocked out of bounds. It'll be Boston ball.
This also is a very strong offensive rebounding team. The Celtics are a little lax in the early going. You know, they're letting Manning get a hand on it, Smith get a hand on it. They're both quick and find the opening on that board. You've got to be careful.
Gamble gives for Bird. He hits his second shot. Celtics lead by 2. Smith gives back to Grant. Down into Polynice. Works his way to the middle for his 2 for 2 now. It's tied at 6.
See, the Celtics are not doubling down, and Robert is allowing him to come into the paint. One of those two things have to be done. If Robert's going to let him get in there, then you got to double down with the guard. If not, then he's got to keep his butt out of there.
That's Gamble trying to get into the paint against Manning. Foul will be on Manning. His first. Team's first.
Here it is. Tough matchup for Manning as it is for Gamble if Manning goes inside on him. But Kevin should be able to get his shots on Manning, whose lateral movement leaves a little something to be desired after the operation. Lewis with a slashing move.
Gets the bounce. 8-6. Boston by 2. Here's Grant. Now looking to the Smith matchup with Bird. Back out to Grant. Pulled down by the Chief. Smith gets a piece of Bird's pass. Gives to Grant.
Smith giving Bird intense pressure as quickly as he can find him.
Back out to Grant as they went quickly at the double team on Smith, and Chief rebounds again. Quickly it goes to Gamble, knocked out by Manning. Looks like the Clippers will be out challenging the forwards of the Celtics on that up quick, Coos.
I think so. I think they know the Celtics want to run transition. They're going to try to slow him down. That's one way to do it, especially challenging Bird. There's the Gamble move.
Gets by Manning that time. Celts by 4.
Now, I'm sure, Kevin, if Manning's going to go out on him, that's what he wants to do, put it to the floor. He can get by him. Manning, one of those players who had that anterior cruciate ligament operation but came back from it. Not many do.
Here's Grant once again. Deep Brown uptight on him. Go to the Harper on the box move. No good. He looking for somebody to pass to. Gives to Bird. Lines up a 3. And it's way wide. And Bird looking over at the official, thinking he might have been fouled. But there's timeout on the floor with 6:52 to go. The Celtics lead 10-6. We'll be back. Basketball Association and the Boston Celtics, and is intended solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written permission of the NBA and the Boston Celtics is prohibited. They look to Manning, mismatch down low. They quickly double him. Goes to Charles Smith outside. It's short, pulled down by D. Brown. Bird the trailer.
Yes, he stepped into that one. He doesn't miss too many when he's able to step in to the basket without any defensive pressure. And again, the lack of the quick pickup by the Clippers in transition.
Double team on Manning. Bird steps out, knocks it to Grant. Bird saves it, gets it out to D. Brown. Picked up by Harper, and they say stepped out of bounds.
Good pursuit on the part of the Celtics. Stayed after that little sucker. I'll tell you, nobody could get a handle on it. But they stayed with it. Here he is. Harper catches it on the line. No, I guess his left foot gets on the line.
D. Brown using Bird's pick. Gives to Bird. Smith uptight on him.
Celtics want to continue taking it inside if possible and running transition. You win home games from the outside. You win it on the road by taking it into the basket, regardless of how well you're shooting out there.
Here's Harper's long distance shot. Rebound by Smith. Power dunk by Smith. 5-point Boston lead.
A loud power dunk. That's what we're talking about. There's two kids, Smith and Manning. Very effective offensive bounders. You've got to keep them off the glass.
Here's D looking to Lewis. Beautiful laydown pass to Parish. As they jump quickly on Reggie. Celtics by 7.
Tommy, I'm pleased to see Reggie make that play. You know, he's had trouble developing that habit, you know, and the vision and the sense to lay down when that defense jumps out. He did it very well there.
Now looking to the mismatch of that forward, Manning, whoever's guarding him.
There's the foul again. I'm not sure who fouled first. Manning had Lewis tied up literally pretty well, but he finally got red.
First team foul on Boston. Here's Manning on the power move.
A little lack of communication there on the part of the C's on D.
Colonies tries to pick off the pass going to the little guy, D. Brown. 4:44 to go here in the first quarter. Bird pops out. Colonies picks him up.
Mismatch inside. Bird finds it.
Boy, I'll tell you, and there was a triple team that time on Parish.
See,
he will go to the line.
Robert's got to read that better, Tommy. You know, when you get doubled, you got to find a free man. When you get tripled, I'll tell you,
There's two open.
You got to find some green shirt that's under the basket, or is going to produce a better shot than and that kind of a move. So the C's get lucky with the foul.
Foul is on Smith.
Robert gets 1 of 2.
Celtics by 6. Here's Grant. Once again, looking down low. Give to Manning. Wheels off the catch. He's called for steps.
Just never got himself under control. Grant last year in here really put on a show. He really was impressive as one of the better point guards, but I guess, you know, he's inconsistent. And he's also unhappy here. He's been complaining, contract squabbles. This whole team is unhappy.
Bird unleashes another long distance one. Rebounded by Parish. They give to D. He's open. And bang.
Oh, yes. Stepping into that nicely, squaring himself off. You and I have talked enough about that. When he does that, you know, he's normally on target.
Here's Harper driving strong. 18-12, Boston by 6. Gamble working against Manning. Parish. Now he's doubled. They give to Gamble. He's left alone. Tipped by Reggie. Harper comes away with it. Almost taken away by D. Brown. It is. It's not to Reggie.
Yes, run it down, Kev. Beautiful. Nice hustle. Let's take another look at that. Good teamwork there between Gamble, who ran that ball down, and D. Brown, who was right behind him. Watch this. Reggie starts it off with a nice save. There it is. Little scoop. D. Brown gets a hand on it. And the foul. Here's another look at it from a little different angle.
Foul is on Manning. He's got 2. And Lloyd Vaught replaces Holden Polonies at center for the Clippers. And Winston Garland, who has recently returned from the injury list, takes over for Grant.
This team has 2 number 1s out there, Tommy. Lloyd is one of them. He's the 13th pick.
Charles Smith will see some action here. 3:10 to go in the first quarter for D. Brown. Give to Garland. Manning. Gamble on him. Garland's leaner is good. Boston up 5. 2:42 to go. First quarter action. Here's Reggie. Looks to Parish, and he's bumped from behind by Vaught.
That'll be the 4th team foul on LA with 2.5 minutes to go.
Celtics call timeout as they have got the power game working and the hustle working. They lead by 5.
In Cleveland for letting this young man go, who was one of the best open court players in the league. And that's why he blows by literally the entire Celtic team to lay it up easily without any defensive pressure. He is tough. Ron Harper.
Have to go out and get him before he gets to the head of the key. You just can't back down on him, Coos.
Well, it looked good. You know, they got Danny Ferry for him, but of course Danny up to now has not really lived up to advance notices.
McHale has reported in. His fall away pulled down by Harper. And Charles Smith will take Garland. And Kevin McHale and Lewis bat Charles Smith's fall-away away.
McHale obviously will give Smith much more difficulty inside than anyone else the Celtics have.
McHale lines up a 2. Give him a 3.
Well, I'll tell you, it's unusual to see a point guard turn down an outside shot to give it to a power forward who knocks it home.
Polonese is back in for the Clippers. Here's Garland looking for somebody to break free on the box. Smith is down there.
McHale giving up that position a little too easily to Smith.
Smith's shot no good. Fought for by Polonese. Reggie comes away with it.
This Ford likes you to fight those guys for the position in the paint. Don't let them step into it. And that's what he's urging Kevin to do. Beat him to that spot.
A gift to Bird. Bird working on Smith, and the foul will be on Smith. That's his second, as Bird has had difficulty really trying to get around some of these bigger forwards, and this Charles Smith is one of the quicker power forwards.
Well, Bird is going to find this more and more, Tommy. It's been happening the last 2 or 3 weeks, where if you notice they're not doubling him as much as they normally do, and whoever they're putting on him, they're trying to match him up speed-wise, putting a little additional speed and having the defender find him as early as possible, give him in tight, intensive pressure.
Jeff Martin has just reported in for Danny Manning. Here's Garland. Goes to Vaught, now to Harper. Harper just blows by Reggie Lewis as Reggie was playing the pick. 54 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
You got to force him middle and hope that the man guarding the pick is going to pop out and slow him down a little bit for you. If you give him baseline, he's got the speed to do what he just did, just blow by, and you never get back into the play.
There's Gamble working on Vaught. Gets by Polonese, and a tip in actually by Vaught, but they'll give it to McHale.
Give it to Vaught. McHale's the closest green shirt.
Celtics by 10. Harper, one-on-one opportunity for him. And Charles Smith, with the green jersey, Charles Smith, quickly went over to double him, but that will put Harper at the line for 2.
Smith's enthusiasm got him in a little trouble there. Chris Ford calls him over to say, Charles, Lewis had him pretty well stopped at that point. Don't come over unless he needs help.
First free throws of the game for the Clippers. The Celtics have really managed to not get their up-tempo game going, but they have been picking their spots and going at certain people.
That's where the defense gets a little tricky, Tommy. Knowing when to help, when to double, and when not to. There are times when you don't need that double help, and other times when you need it desperately.
Eric's pass is knocked away by Vaught. Here's Garland, his pull-up. Yes.
Well, again.
And Charles Smith will be fouled as he got sandwiched by both Harper and Garland.
But the quick trap, they'll go into a 1-3-1 half-court trap, produces dividends for the Clippers. They came up with the steal a moment ago, and that time they almost had it for a second time. So the first time is permissible. The second time, you've got to burn them when they go into that half-court pressure.
Foul was on Garland.
Taking advantage of Charles Smith's
makes one of 2, and now with water running down, Harper for the bomb. It's way short. And, Mike Schuler is going to get a technical foul called on him. He's screaming that Harper was fouled in the backcourt. And Luis Grillo says, Mike, calm down. So the quarter ends with Shula having a technical assessed to him. That'll put probably Larry Bird at the line as the Celtics take a 7-point lead after one. Bird made the technical to bump the lead to 8. Here's Manning with it. And illegal defense will be charged to the Celtics. Kevin McHale.
Mike Shula picking up the technical as Chris Ford under a little pressure here. He only came over last year. The owner here, Don Sterling, changes coaches as often as T-shirts, I guess. They've had about a half a dozen in the last 6 months. Gene Shue, Cheney, Lyman, Don Casey, our own Don Casey, and now Shula. And they're talking about Tarkanian. So the pressures here on the coach are a little more than normal.
Harper tips the Manning miss in. Here's D. Brown being harassed by Garland. Bird looks to McHale. Swing to Reggie. Reggie pulls it out. That's Pinckney, who just reported in. Nobody picked him up but Reggie.
Good look by Reggie, finding Pinckney, who had kind of slid into the paint. And you're right. How do you lose 6 feet 9 inches of man?
Bo Kimball came in at the quarter.
Kimball is the heralded first-round pick from Marymount. McHale. That's nice. That's nice. Ran it down. Tore it away from Garland off the nice outlet by McHale after the fine defensive play. Good job there.
Celtics by 10. Manning working against Ed Pinckney. Pinckney bumps him. So Chris Ford using a bigger player now on Manning.
Here's the play at halftime, or just as the quarter ended, excuse me, that produced the technical. You're going to see McHale move in. And a lot of contact there. Nothing was called. And Mike Shula, there he is.
That was after the shot was released, however.
Got a little upset about that and got himself a tee.
Danny Manning, in 18 minutes up in Boston, ended up with 18 points as the Celtics didn't have an answer. Bird did not play in that game. Well, Chris Ford now putting Eddie Pinckney on Danny Manning, saying, hey, maybe the bigger guy can stay with Manning. The foul will be on Ford.
Ford is a rebounder. This team has 8 first-round picks.
They got too many first.
And maybe, so the owner and the media, I guess everyone expects them to do better than they're doing. Maybe that's one of the reasons to keep changing coaches or threatening to. Last year, they looked like they were ready to make their move, but this year they've been inconsistent.
Reggie against Bo Kimball. He gets hit on the arm.
Kimball, the book on him is he's a defensive liability. Fine shooter, doesn't quite have the speed and quickness to create the shot himself, and as a result, Tommy has not been getting a lot of playing time. He and his agent both have already been screaming about, you know, get me out of here, trade me. But he's not getting the opportunity.
He's only shooting 38%, Kuz. That's the other reason, too.
Yeah.
The guy that was the leading scorer in the nation comes in and starts shooting 38%. You got to move him to the bench.
They claim that they say he doesn't have the speed and quickness to create the good shooting opportunity. If you leave him alone, as most players, he can shoot well, but if you play him in tight, he doesn't do as well.
Ford, pull-up jumper, hard off the glass. Pinckney with it.
It makes me think Ford is not a shooter. Wow.
There's D. Brown. D. Brown works his way, but they call a foul on Bird, an offensive foul as he tried to pick off Gary Grant. That's the first on Bird.
That's unusual. Bird, the old veteran, doesn't. No, well, I'll tell you. If there was a foul, there wasn't a flagrant one or an evident one. He doesn't have that one called on him too often.
Here's Grant looking down low. They're working the Manning matchup. Good up fake that time by Manning. And the foul will be to Pinckney, his second.
Again, the Celtics giving up that position in the paint. There you can see too easily. Pinckney's got to work harder and push the man out further.
Well, they run a little pick play, Kuz,
yeah,
to
just
get
a
him
little
in there.
cross pick, but, you know, that's what I'm saying. There's got to be better communication. Either they got to switch. If they don't switch, then, you know, the guy's got to get his tail over there and beat him to the spot.
And he makes it a three-point play and has cut Boston's lead to 8.
Full court pressure that time by the Clippers.
McHale gives to D. Brown. Beautiful in pass to Parish, and he gets raked, I believe, Grant.
That extra pass by the point guard creates a good opportunity. Brown had the jumper sighted that time, made the additional pass, and that's what the lesson the point guard has got to learn: when to make the extra pass and when to take the quick jump.
First foul on Grant. 3 team fouls on the Clippers as Polonese reports. Back into the game, and Manning will move out away from the basket. Here's Grant. Kimball pops out.
Reggie doing a nice job defensively, steals it from Harper, who got careless with it. Yes, again the rookie Brown finding the open penetrator.
Well, 5 guys were running that time, Kuz.
Yeah.
And D. Brown made the defense commit.
And again, it's triggered by the aggressive defense by Lewis. That long reach snares that errant ball, gets it down there to Brown. Brown winds up for the jumper, spots McHale, and he rifles the fastball in there.
McHale makes the first. That's 3 fouls now on Danny Manning, and 4 on the Clippers. Celts have 1 team foul.
Celts should be able to exploit that foul situation with 8.5 minutes to go here.
And up 11. There's Grant's distance shot. No good. He gets it back. Fights his way to the hoop.
Grant's first hoop. He's averaging 9.
They go to McHale down low. Now to double team. Here's D. Brown left open. Squares away and hits another outside shot.
I'll tell you, they're tapping down. Polonese beats Robert down. That doesn't happen often. 6 for the big guy now. They're doubling down on McHale every time, and the open spot is the top of the key. Brown is gravitating to it. There he is again. He's hit 3 out of 3.
Knock to Reggie. Power move by D. Brown. Used one side, went to the other, and he'll end up at the line shooting 2.
Brown is breathing hard. I think Chris Ford notices that too. Now, when a team gets into foul trouble, and you've got people like D. Brown who can put it to the floor effectively, that's what you want to look for. Don't settle for the jumper now if you can take it inside.
Foul is on Polonese, and Kevin Gamble will take Reggie Lewis's spot. 7:47 to go here in the second quarter.
Celtics the best free throw shooting team in the league, going against the last, by the way. These guys are the worst shooting team in the league from the free throw line, but so far it's just been reversed. Celtics have missed 4 on the early going.
Harper has reported back in for the Clippers for Kimball. Lay down to Charles Smith works, but the shot is short, picked up by Gamble. McHale left open at the head of the key. There's the great rebound by Gamble. It's knocked away. Parish hard to the hoop.
Well, a good offensive flurry by the Celtics on the boards, and an equally effective defensive effort by the Clippers there in denying them the dunk.
That's a good effort by Eddie Pinckney. There's Parish right there, and there's timeout right now being called by the Celtics. They lead 39-30 as they've been cooking here at the Sports Arena.
Kevin looking for it. D. Brown rotating over to the top of the key, which is a relatively easy shot for a good shooter.
Goes back into McHale. They leave D. Brown open, lays it beautifully. to Parish, and they'll call an offensive foul on Parish. That should have been a slammer, as D. Brown made a good pass to Parish. That's the first on the Chief.
There's the trap down. Brown finds the open spot, draws Parish's man, lays it off. Well,
that was a chintzy offensive foul.
Yeah, wow.
Boom!
Had to search that one out. Parish with the steal.
D. Brown with his head up. Gives to Bird, who just came back in. Yes! Too late, Larry Bird. They didn't get to him quite fast enough. Boston by 12.
Again, stepping in at that three-pointer. 13 now for the Birdman.
It's 2 for 5 right now, Kuz, for three-pointers. Charles Smith lays down the Vaught. His jumper is good. And Chris Ford exhorting D. Brown to push it hard. McHale gives to Bird. Lofty rainbow shot, no good. Harper.
Stop the ball.
Will get airborne. His club with no whistle. Gamble, 3-on-1. They give to Bird, back to Gamble, and he scores. And Mike Schuler is livid up the other end of the court, and he wants timeout, as I believe he wants to pick up a second technical. They're calling it a 20-second timeout. But the Celtics ended up with a 3-on-1, Kuz.
Well, you know what? Schuler's upset because they've been over the limit team foul-wise. In both quarters, the Celtics did not get to it in the first and only have one team foul, two at this juncture. So he feels he was fouled down the other end, and he's still upset and smarting from the one he feels they missed at the end of the first quarter. Yeah, good decision to give it to Bird there, because you know he's going to create an easy layup with the pass back.
Well, Mike Schuler did have his say that calmed him down. But Harper, when he gets airborne, he almost always goes to the line.
You know, coaches get acclimated to doing a lot of complaining on the road because they figure they're not going to get a shake. But when it happens at home, you know, it rings your bell a little sooner, and you have a tendency to you know, blow your top a little quicker because you expect the break.
Harper gives to Smith. Back to Harper. Smith's outside shot finds the net. 6
for Smith. He's leading the team with 19. Norman, who also is averaging 19 a game, is out tonight, as we told you.
5:16 to go in the half. Here's D. Brown, gives to Bird. Look quickly inside to McHale. D. Brown, beautiful up fake. Parish there has his dunk knocked away. Back to Parish. Fakes once, twice, and cannot make it fall, but he will be at the line.
Well, you know, he used some pump fakes there the second time. I think that's what he's got to do against the intense pressure that he got right there. See, he caught and brought it right up, even at 7 feet. You've got to know when you got leapers in that paint with you when to use the foul. That time he pumped fakes twice, gets the shot off, not the one he would have liked. Picks up the foul and almost misses his third free throw. Roberts struggling from the free throw line.
Ken Bannister is in for Vaught for the Clippers. Celtics lead is 12.
Roberts 6 for 8 now from the line.
Gamble will now take Harper. Chief switches out on Harper. Harper, quick move against Gamble. Bangs it. Parish picks it up. Outlet pass back at to Brown. Bird launches a three. Almost tipped in by Bannister. Here comes Harper. They let him get into the paint. They get it up quickly to Brown.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Too late.
Quick shooter release by Brown, and the alert down-court look by Bird produces an easy 2 for the rookie.
10 points for the Rook. Celtics by 14. Coming up to 4 minutes. Charles Smith, fall away is good.
Smith looking good. Has a nice release.
8 points for him. D. Brown works off Bird's pick. A gift to Gamble. McHale's fall away, no good. Rebounded by Harper.
I'll tell you what, with Bannister guarding you, you don't want to take fallaways because he's going to wow Harper with a fairly spectacular finish there on that penetration.
Celtics are just not picking him up far enough out.
Bannister's going to just maul you in there, so don't take the fall away. There's the quick trap. I'll tell you, Brown is liking this game, right? He's saying, keep giving it to McHale. That's the way I'm going to end up with that little 17-footer.
There's Harper once again, and boy, I'll tell you, Parish got knocked off the rebound by Polynice. But D. Brown, you're right, Coos. They're saying, most of the coaches, prove it to me you can hit from the outside, as we're looking at Brian Shaw, who has made the trip and is going through extensive treatment on the plane, in the hotel.
In the boot. The boot is the equipment that was on the plane. That's very impressive. It's almost a body boot that they put on your leg. Brian will be talking to him at halftime, by the way. Give us an update on how he's feeling, when he thinks he'll be back.
Chief sits down as Reggie comes back in. Chief had 9 rebounds so far. Here's Harper. That's his pass knocked by Bird. It'll be a new 24. And the Clippers will call timeout to try and get it organized for this last 2:55 of the half, as the Celtics are having their way.
Tommy, on paper, Mike Schuler, I guess, could build a case. The free throw ratio is 5 for the Clippers, 17 for Boston. But, you know, as normally is the case, that's because the Celtics have been running better transition. And Gamble and D. Brown and Reggie Lewis have been taking it to the basket more effectively and picking up fouls as opposed to
I never feel comfortable, Coos, when you start shooting more free throws than the other team in the first half. It usually comes back to haunt you once the officials look at the stat sheet at halftime. Here's Bannister, hot off the glass. Polynice, he can't find it, but Charles Smith does, as the 3 big Clipper big guys out-muscled the Celtics big guys.
Well, again, the C's going with the small team. Bird, second pass. Now that they've gotten through with the defensive pressure, 4 quick points.
A breakaway slam by Harper. He's got 10. Celtics by 8. Here's Gamble. Works by Polynice. Lays beautifully to McHale. And McHale will be at the line.
8 for McHale now, and a nice feed by Gamble there. Gamble goes in so well and under control. See what I'm saying? You know, he's got it there. He's got the opportunity for himself, but he draws the 2 white shirts, so that immediately says to him, okay, someone's free, and he's going to move to the open area, which McHale does.
Foul was charged to Polynice. McHale now has 10. Celtics by 11. Under 2 minutes.
Good solid half of basketball by the C's so far. We set on top. They needed to play some defense. Harper curls off that weak side pick.
Coming off the picks. Doing it on the fly. D. Brown gives to Bird.
14 for Harper now.
Points on Bird. Gamble will be called for the offensive foul as he was double teamed. And Loy Vaught, wait a minute, Kenny Bannister will be in for Polynice.
Strange move here. I don't know what Kevin was looking for. You know, he just dips the shoulder and obviously knocks Harper off his feet. Gamble normally a little more clever with his moves than that one.
Winston Garland in for Grant. D. Brown has him. They go to Charles Smith. Bird blocks the shot from behind.
Beautiful. And I'll tell you, they needed help on him that time.
Reggie comes away with it, puts it up hard, no good. Garland pulls it back out, slows it down a little bit.
Both teams working very hard defensively, and it's affecting the shooters.
Harper, great move.
16 for Harper now.
They have not been able to put a crimp in what he wants to do, and the Celtics lead is 7. Here's Bird. McHale gets banged from behind.
They can get something good, Tommy, almost every time they run that little pick and roll with Bird and McHale. There it is. McHale slides off the pick as they look to both help on Bird. And, of course, when you do that, Bird is going to create a good shooting opportunity for the picker.
Give the foul to Harper, his first. Clippers were on an 8-2 run. .5 seconds left here in the half. Kevin McHale 5 for 5 from the line. Celtics lead is 9. Garland. They get it to Harper, but he'll be fouled by Reggie Lewis, I believe.
Celtics had one to waste. Derek Smith, Dave Hobson, Brian Shaw, the inactive Celtics at the moment.
Injured reserves and inactive. Harper from downtown. Tipped way out. It goes to Garland. They give to Harper. He's in the paint again. Just cannot let him get there. Well, he's got 18 now.
Yeah, close to his average. He's averaging 20 a game.
No, he's got 14. Our official scorer said.
No, he's got more than that.
Okay.
He's got 4. He's got 12 this quarter.
Here's Reggie's shot. No good. Pulled down by Smith.
No, you were right. He had 18.
Harper once again. Oh, they had it all away. Should have scored. Missed a great opportunity as the Clippers start to make a move in the last 2 minutes of the second quarter have brought the Celtics lead into manageable proportions. Celtics 55, the Clippers 48. And Kuza, what do the Celtics need to do to keep this thing going?
More of the same, Thomas. More of the same. They played a good half of ball. The defense was there. The board slow Mr. Harper down.
Big criteria. Here's the stats. Clippers take 10 more shots than the Celtics, but don't shoot as well. The free throw thing is really amazing. Watch that catch up, I believe, in the second half. Celtics took 22, the Clippers 5. Celtics 6 turnovers in a pretty up-tempo game. Here's the leading scorers. Bird with 13, McHale 12. Good evening for him. He's only taken 6 shots. D. Brown with 12, Parish 7. Harper has had his way here in the first half. Charles Smith has 10, Manning 6, and Polony 6.
Here's some of the wonderful things Mr. Harper did to get his 16 points at halftime. Bird comes out of the pack looking down floor. He does that so well. Brown releases as soon as he sees the rebounds going to LB and picks up the easy one. Harper on the other end comes right back. See, they got to find him earlier, Tommy, because if they let him get to the top of the key to make his move, even when you collapse 5 guys on him, he's going to find a way to get it up there.
Let's check to see who's starting for both ball clubs. The Celtics will start with their normal starting lineup minus Brian Shaw. D. Brown will take his place. So it'll be Bird, Parish, Gamble, Reggie Lewis. And the Clippers will counter with their starting lineup of Gary Grant, Harper in the backcourt, Polonese at center, Danny Manning, and Charles Smith up front. Here's Harper. Reggie has him.
Isolation on the right side for Harper. They like to go to that.
Here's Smith working on Bird. Manning picks up the rebound. They've got to block Manning off. He is a very intelligent player.
Not a good sign. They gave him 10 offensive rebounds in the first half, and they start off with Manning knocking one home.
Bird's jumper is long. Harper with it again. Reggie backing down. Kicks it. Picked up by Reggie. Give him two. A big two. 57-50. We're underway.
That was necessary, T. The Celtics had started out just a little flat with the offensive board by Manning, and then the missed shot. Lewis gets them back in.
They're really aiming their offense at Bird. Here's D. Brown. Gamble. D. Brown left open. Finds Parish. He does not handle it smoothly.
Robert has been struggling tonight. 1 for 6 from the field.
Harper gets bumped by Reggie. Third foul on Reggie.
Take a look at that Lewis steal. Harper just puts it in front of him. He does the crossover move but doesn't protect the ball. Reggie with his long arms and quickness just strip it away, and he gets the two.
It's his first free throw.
The free throw ratio, let's take a look at the foul. That time Harper crosses him up, goes outside instead of in.
Makes 2 free throws, Coos, and Boston's lead has been cut to 5.
Yeah, they came into the game, the Clippers shooting it at 69% from the free throw line. They were 4 for 5, 80% in the first half.
They're going into Parish, double team. They back off Brown, swing it quickly to Reggie. It'll be out of bounds, turnover. As Reggie didn't complete the swing to Gamble.
Celtics a little careless in the early going here, the second half. It's gotten the coach's attention. He's up in front of us, saying all the appropriate things that we can't repeat.
Here's Harper. Reggie's back down off him. They go into Smith once again. He's hit from behind by Bird. So the entire offense right now is concentrating on going right at Larry Bird in the low post. Second foul on Bird. Clippers making a comeback early in the third quarter. Celtics lead by 3. Coos, Sybil Shepherd.
Yeah, one of the camera guys were telling me that before the game, they were saying, you know, the Lakers get the #1 echelon Hollywood stars. We get the #2s, but Sybil would disagree with that, right? She's up there with the #1.
#1 in my hit parade. Celtics trying to get hot. Bird shot is good over Smith. Well, they're going to go at Bird.
Yeah, they're going to have to give Bird help, but he's going to have to fight Smith harder for the position inside. They're going to have to trap down or get McHale in there more quickly. McHale slowed him down in the first half.
Gamble has Manning. Swung quickly to Harper. This 3 no good. Pulled off by Gamble. They get it up quickly to Reggie. Harper right there with him. And Reggie makes his first shot here in the second half. He's only got 8 points. Into Charles Smith. Rebound Parish. Reggie will be looking at a 3-on-1. Now his pull-up.
Yes.
Give him 2 in a row, and Boston has opened the lead to 8. And the Clippers want timeout to regroup as the Celtics getting hot. We'll be back. New Jersey Coach.
They're tough in Jersey in those ballroom brawls. Vicious. Here's Reggie, who's a little vicious starting out the second half with his 4th hoop and 8 points.
Harper pops free. Celtics were on a 6-0 run after that previous timeout. They give to Bird. Smith up close on the perimeter on Bird. Looking inside to Parish. Has a chance to go one-on-one. His shot is long. Harper comes away with it.
Harper. They haven't gotten the message, Steve.
I'll tell you, just cannot let him get into the paint because he's got great athletic ability. They've knocked the Celtics lead down to 4. Here's D. Brown. Pull up behind the pick is good.
Brown is feeling it tonight. That's 14.
He's 7 for 9, Coos.
I'll tell you, I agree with Brian Shaw. This experience is going to help him.
Harper, weaving his way through, will step to, well, only it'll be out of bounds on the side.
It is.
Foul was on D. Brown.
Reggie trying to go over the top of the pick. Harper using him well and gets into the paint and runs into people.
Grant gives to Harper once again. D. Brown there for the steal. Harper still with it. Great pass by Harper to Polonese from the floor. Wow.
Heads up play by Harper, keeping his cool while sitting in the paint and finding the open man.
D. Brown gives to Bird. A little too long with the pass as 2 men jump Bird, and D. Brown was open.
Bird's 5th turnover tonight.
And McHale will be off the bench as the Celtics were very successful working that McHale matchup against anybody. Here's Harper's bank shot.
Celtics have not adjusted. They're allowing them to penetrate, and no one's coming up to help. And Harper's taking advantage of it.
24 points for Harper. Parish waits for the double team. Finds Reggie. Yes. A needed hoop by Reggie as the Chief turned down the shot opportunity. 6:42 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Harper once again, no. It'll be Boston ball off Charles Smith, and McHale reports in, and Gamble will take the seat.
Yeah, with Parish ice cold in the paint, McHale has got to come in to give the C's a threat in there, as well as obviously his defense on Smith.
A gift to Bird. McHale trying to get down on the box. They're fighting him for the spot.
You can see how hard Smith is working to keep McHale off. Reggie, good block by Polonese.
And D. Brown almost picked that pass off as it was way in front of Polonese.
It was his pressure on the receiver that caused the errant pass by Grant. Grant has not played well tonight.
The intensity level of the Clippers, however, are picking up here in the 3rd quarter. Bird manning on him. Gift to the Chief. It's picked off by Harper, and here comes Grant. And Chris Ford wants a timeout as the Clippers are making their presence known. They trail by 2. To the McHale matchup as the Celtics are playing matchups, trying to go at certain people, get McHale involved. They lead by 4. They had 6 turnovers in the first half, Coos. 4 here in the 3rd quarter. Here's Grant. His shot short. Picked up by Grant.
As the intensity level picks up in a game, you've got to match it in terms of being careful. Clippers continue to wreak havoc on that offensive board. Yeah, you've got a sense, Tommy, that the pressure is increased and now become much more careful and conservative with your passing. Larry Bird normally does that very well, but he's been victimized a couple of times here in the early going of the 2nd half with a couple of lazy passes that they've picked off for hoops.
Well, I think he's having trouble, Coos, going one-on-one against the guy, so that...
yeah, the pressure is allowed to get so intense that he can't make the play as easily as
he doesn't make that play, so he's forced to pass. There was really no double team on him that time to speak of. Here's Reggie. He's going at Harper. His pull-up. Front rings it. Harper comes away with it.
Not exactly the shot Chris Ford wanted at that point. Reggie can get better than it.
pick. And the foul will be on Olden Polynice as he was trying to spring Harper loose. That's 3 on him. First team foul on the Clippers.
Olden is the shy retiring type. He didn't want to take 2 zeros on his uniform. I'll leave that to Robert, right?
I'm just a single zero.
Just 1 0, not 2.
Bird pops out. It's a 2, but it's long. Reggie comes away with it. Bird in his range. Yes!
Okay, give Reggie a big assist there. Not for the pass, but for the offensive board. Good job.
Garland has come in for Grant. He gives to Harper. Bird ends up with him. Manning is inside. Garland. There'll be an illegal defense called on the Celtics. Chris Ford says Bird was not over there. There's Bird shot, Goose.
Yeah, watch Reggie knife in here off the high Bird miss. Get control of it. Immediately look up. Harper, who continues to...
well, he gets the free throw, the technical on the illegal defense call, the second of the evening for the Celtics. Manning will inbound it for the Clippers. Harper pops out against Reggie.
Well, that's strange. They sent him to the line. He's not one of their better free throw shooters.
Garland's shot no good. Up high for the rebound was Polynice. Now Reggie comes away with it. Chief on the run. Strong, quick move.
I'll tell you what.
Chief needed a layup right now, I'll tell you that.
D. Brown is really getting the job done in terms of his passing responsibilities.
Bad shot by Garland. Out to Lewis it goes. Celtics 3 on 2. Reggie's pull up. No. D. Brown fights for the rebound. It'll stay Boston ball. And there's Shula, who was about to be called for a technical, and the 2 referees confer and say, hey, it was off D. Brown. So Mike Shula with 2 stomps gets a decision.
And again, without D. Brown involved in the play, Celtics end up with a sideline 16-footer when they've got a 3-on-2 advantage. You've got to come up with something better than that.
Reggie trying to stay with Harper. He can go right, he can go left. Bird forced to pick up Harper. Nice pass from Polynice to Manning. As boy, they're zeroing in the offense for Bird to have to pick people up. Offensive foul, charge to McHale.
Momentum is turning, and I'm sure you can sense it. Celtics doing a lot of stupid things out there in the last couple of minutes.
First foul on McHale.
Yeah, McHale kind of just wipes him out, as you can see, just steps where he wants to go. You got to kind of roll off the man. Take what he's giving you. You can't keep it all away from you.
Bird and Reggie on Harper. Parish up high, pulls it off. They've got people out in front. Here comes D. Brown running hard. There's McHale. And call a foul, an offensive foul on McHale. It was a 3-on-2. McHale did not have a clear alley to the hoop. He picks up his second.
Yeah, not a good move by Brown here and giving it to McHale that far away from the basket, making the big guy put it to the floor to make the play with the smaller, quicker man in position to step in and pick up the job.
There's the 2-on-2 basketball. Offensive foul called on Manning on the pick-and-roll play, as that has become their prime option. Get Bird involved in the defense.
That's his 4th.
Garland
Defense picking up.
is uptight on D. Brown.
They want to delay his getting the Celtics into their half-court offense if they can.
Bird pops out off the pick. Yes! They're getting him more involved in the offense rather than just standing on the perimeter.
Anytime you bring him off the pick, you're normally going to end up with a pretty good jumper. That's 19 for LB. penalty.
2 minutes to go here in the quarter. Manning shot, no good. Parish with it. And he is tough underneath the basket. Pressure defense now. Reggie almost loses it.
Doing a good job delaying Brown, getting it over half. Celtics going to have to toughen up on that defensive board, excuse me. Clippers continue to hammer it.
Almost stolen by Charles Smith. Parish banged. Couldn't get up, take the blow and score, but he will be shooting 2.
Tell you what, Robert's been rushing those easy shots all night long. He's had a lot of opportunities because Parish is active and he's doubling off of him. Watch, McHale drives it in there, draws Parish's man. He's just not taking his time. He's about 2 for 9 or 10 on those easy shots.
Substitutions made as Manning and Harper will sit down. Vaught in and Bo Kimball. And Kevin Gamble will replace Reggie Lewis, who's been trying, and I mean really trying, to stay with Ron Harper. Here's Parish. Celts up by 7. Parish now 11 points. Smith has been in the lane. Here's Garland's shot. Celts by 5. Bird. Give to D. Brown. Drawn to Parish. His shot blocked. Bo Kimball. Out to Vaught. Kimball. Air ball. Gamble had an opportunity to give it to D. Brown. Poor decision that time by Gamble, who's, I think, as Pinckney reports in for Parish.
I'm not sure he quite had the handle. Here he's finally got it under control, but now the defense moves in from behind and fouls him.
Well, as he first got the ball, he could have advanced it to D. Brown and then just beat those defenders down the middle.
They're going to make that a shooting foul.
Yeah.
Well, that takes a little of the onus out of it, huh?
Well, they have 5 team fouls.
Oh, so. I'm sorry. Okay, so they're over the limit. Now, again, the aggressiveness for the Clippers, on one hand, is positive, but on the other hand, it's caused them to get over the limit in their fouling in each quarter.
Celtics with 3 team fouls. They have 1 to waste with 37 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. Kimball pops out. Bird ends up with Parish. Air ball by Parish. Garland knocks D. Brown off the rebound. Tip to Vaught. The Celtics really never blocked out on that one. There's 10 seconds left here in the quarter. D. Brown gives to Gamble. The shot will not count. But at the end of 3 quarters, the Clippers have picked it up a notch. The Celtics lead now only by 5. Shootout. Tonight's contestant is Lee Banahan from Fitchburg, Mass, and has selected Kevin McHale to score first for the Celtics in the 4th quarter. For being selected, Lee will receive an athletic bag, compliments of Miller Lite. And if Kevin is the player to score the first basket in the 4th quarter, Lee will also win a grand prize of 2 Boston Celtics tickets. Good luck, Lee.
Tommy DeCease still sitting on a 5-point lead, but we talked at halftime that they had to slow Harper down. They did not do that in the 3rd quarter. He had 9, and they really got passive on the backboards. On paper, they're pretty evenly matched, but it's been the Clippers with a clear edge on the offensive ball.
There's Gamble playing guard right now. His shot no good, picked up by Manning. And Parish down fast. The foul will be on D. Brown as Parish just turned into a whippet.
There's the quick outlet by Manning, and then the good look by Garland. Catches Polynice ahead of the field. He runs well, this big 7-footer. Not a great shooter, but you don't miss too many from directly over the basket.
Well, I'll tell you, they're getting some aggressive play from Polynice and very active play on the boards and running. Foul was charged to D. Brown. That's 2 on him. And Polynice makes it a 3-point play and has cut the Celtics lead to 2. Here's Pinckney, as they are all over D. Brown right now, trying to harass him as Bird is on the bench.
There's Ford looking for some additional rebounding help. Puts Pinckney in there.
McHale gets banged. Parish with the rebound. Out to D. Brown as the pressure defense really caused some problems. Gamble, lefty, no good. Tip by Pinckney.
Yes.
Pinckney right there.
That's what's needed. A young, fresh, athletic body in there to do a little damage on the Selleck offensive play.
Ward over the top of McHale, pulled down by Parish.
Celtics can keep him out of the paint. This is not a good outside shooting team.
13 rebounds for the Chief Goose. In it goes to McHale. A double team. Gamble steps to it. Lefty, no good. Parish right there. Up. He can't find it. And it'll be Clippers ball.
Robert just shaking his head. He's saying, I can't get any closer than I'm getting to that basket. Why isn't it going in?
Pinckney on Manning. Pinckney can't hold on to it. Manning glides to the shot. Celtics lead has been cut to 2.
Garland trying to deny Brown. Keep the ball out of the point guard's hands.
As a matchup, as D. Brown's looking into McHale, Vaught's on him. As Gamble, who left open, he's got to hit that shot. He does, and opens up the lead to 4.
Gamble's been quiet offensively, Tommy. That's only his 8th point of the night.
D. Brown on Garland. His pull-up. Snagged by Pinckney. Here's Gamble. And Gamble faked the pass. The defender yanked him down hard.
Probably wasn't a bad idea the way Robert's been shooting tonight. You know, normally he would have slid it through right there. But he fakes it, takes it in himself. Kimball picks up his 2nd.
So Kevin will be up the line shooting 2 as Bo Kimball has come in for the Clippers along with Grant.
You know, it's a testimony to the fine year that Kevin Gamble is having. We're talking about him having a quiet offensive night with 8 points. I know he's averaging 16, but all of a sudden he's reached that status level where you expect him to get those 16. He's been playing so well.
Say right now, we're sorry to leave. Better luck next time. But if you'd like to be a contestant, just send us the name of the player you choose to Miller Lite 4th quarter shootout, P.O. Box 25, Dedham, Mass. 02026. Celtics up by 6. Here's Manning, gets by Pinckney, gets banged underneath, still scores.
Danny Manning, the #1 pick in the country a few years ago, starting to heat it up here in the 2nd half.
McHale, they give back to D. Brown. D to the middle, loses it, over the top, out of bounds.
And back through the hoop. Chris Ford getting frustrated. Celtics have had control of this game almost from the start, but it's slipping away on those offensive boards.
And Bird will be off the bench now, as will Reggie Lewis. And shot, no good.
He rushed it. It's unusual for a guy with the hot hands to clear an easy shot and then not finish it.
Chris Ford has had to go with bigger people. Here's Gamble muscling his way through.
Is that a strong move? Is that a strong move by Kevin Gamble? Just utter determination to get it in there and finally finding the daylight.
Celtics lead is 6 now with 8:10 to go. Here's Grant. D. Brown backs off him. Harper back in. Kevin's got him.
Yeah, D. Brown fell asleep. Chris Ford is very upset. He just forgot about his man. He's got to do one or the other. He's got to go with his man or go after the ball. Watch him now. Here's that Gamble move a moment ago. Watch him. Just will not be denied. Finishes it strong.
Well, the illegal defense does not provide a point for the Clippers.
I don't know why they put Harper, at least on paper, shooting at 64% from the free throw line, Tommy. Yet they're sending him up there to take these illegal defense shots.
Who's the best free throw shooter?
Well, it's not Harper. They're not a good team. They're 69% from the line as a team. Kimball is 77. He's not.
Maybe he made the most in a row or something. They went to Manning, and McHale got a piece of it, but I'll tell you, Manning is taking his game over right now. Little trap defense as D. Brown has gone to the bench, and Gamble and Lewis will be the backcourt people. Bird is in. Double team on Gamble.
The aggressive defense and the rebounding is paying off for the Clippers. The Celtics is getting a little flustered and confused in their offense.
Third foul on Gamble as he tried to make something happen that wasn't there, but as he was double teamed that time, should have kicked it out. But who's to say? Here's Harper. Manning once again. Quick jump shot. Celtics starting to get the boards now as Polonese is on the bench, and they cannot handle it, and they lose it as a turnover, and the pressure defense with D. Brown on the bench starting to take its toll on Gamble and Reggie Lewis.
They're saying quiet down again. The pressure is not called at that point.
15 turnovers for the Celtics. Here's Harper. They call a foul on Reggie Lewis as McHale made a clean block.
That'll be the 4th on Lewis, the 3rd team foul on the Celtics. Celtics in a little bit of trouble here. In danger of losing their lead for, I think, the first time tonight.
Well, this backcourt right now, Kuz, without Brian Shaw being in there, is causing some problems as D. Brown is on the bench with 7:02 to go, and Gamble and Reggie will have to become the floor generals in the backcourt.
And Smith, who was their most effective offensive rebounder, hasn't gotten his rest, back in there, ready to do more damage on that board.
There's Bird bringing it up against Manning. They take the pressure off. McHale down on the box against Smith. Reggie's shot blocked. He gets it back. Powers through. Scores.
I'll tell you, he finished it off after taking a bad shot to begin with, but he hung in there, got it back, and then made a spectacular finish on the play.
Celtics by 4. Here's Manning. One-on-one against McHale. Quick jump hook. And the Chief right there against Bannister. And the Celtics want a 20-second timeout to get D. Brown back in the ball game. But now Chris Ford said it's going to be a full timeout as the Celtics are hanging in there. They lead by 4. Network.
Polonese, they're working. The trainer, Keith Jones, working on Polonese's right knee that's stiffened up. He's had a big night on the boards.
D. Brown is back in, and Bird launches a 3. Air ball.
Wow.
Harper works his way. Manning gets by Bird. Tip is no good. Bannister, and somebody ends up on the floor. It's Kevin McHale.
Don't think that's the shot that Chris Ford had diagrammed in that timeout. You got to get better than that. Here's Manning taking it in. Parish there to help. Celts kind of reaching. McHale just gets shoved out of there.
Bannister picks up the foul. That's the second team foul on the Clippers. Trap defense taking the Celtics out of their inside game. Bird launches another one. And it's out of bounds.
You win on the road by taking it to the basket. You win at home from the outside. Gotta learn that.
Right now, Bird is 2 for 8, has missed his last 2 from the three-point line. 5:30 to go in the game. Harper finds it. It's a 2. And it's a 2-point Boston lead now. As the Clippers seem to have found some kind of chemistry here to take the Celtics out of their game. Parish gives to Bird. They swing it to Reggie. McHale. It's long.
The trapping defense is causing the Celtics to go exclusively outside. Good steal by Bird. Gamble probably should be in there to put it to the floor, but that weakens him on the board. So in all the other priorities, Lewis.
They just back right down off Reggie. Got to play some good defense here, Kuz, with 4:34 to go.
Yeah, the trapping defense gives you the outside shot, you know, because it leaves the open man free, but you've got to turn it down and look for something better.
A double Harper. Grant swings it to Charles Smith. Strong move by Smith. He gets it back. It's knocked out of bounds. It'll be Clipper ball.
Celtics continue to give up that second and third opportunity, and that's going to hurt them. There's still enough time, 4 minutes, but Chris has got his biggest, strongest rebounding team in there. There they are working on Polonese.
They finally get it to Harper. Manning swings it to Grant. Has a double team on Harper. Left Grant wide open on the weak side.
Only 6 for Grant, but that was a big one.
D. Brown off the pick. His pull-up. High, and there'll be an offensive. Wait a minute, foul called to Bannister.
Yeah, if Bannister's in there, he's going to foul. That's his third team. He doesn't agree with the call, but take a look. Brown's jumper uses the inside hand, just pushes Abbott right out of the play. Good call.
Whenever you see a player going forward for the rebound like that, when he should be going straight up, you know somebody pushed him. Here's D. Brown working on Grant. Bird pops out. It's triple team. They say it's off of one of the Clippers, so it'll stay Celtics ball with 8 on the shot clock.
Bird struggling against this aggressive defensive pressure by the Clippers.
Celtics call a 20-second timeout right now to try to get a good shot off in those 8 seconds. Polonese has had a groin pull. Here, Kuz, look at this one.
Yeah, you can see both men helping out. Harper all over him. Bird just doesn't have the mobility left, you know, to avoid that kind of pressure that he was using to his advantage just, you know, not too long ago.
Well, they're trying to get him free off of picks right now as we're looking at Polonese once again. I don't think he will be in action here as they're...
Yeah, the diagnosis is a groin pull, and they don't expect him to get back in.
Brown pops out. Gives to Reggie. 4 on the clock. Up fake. Gets it back. Tipping by Parish.
Yes.
They could have called a foul, too.
Yeah, it appeared Reggie got fouled on the first go-up.
18 for Reggie, and the Celts lead is back up to 4.
Parish can help. Bannister is a complete non-shooter. He gets a hand on the pass there.
D. Brown looking for some help in the backcourt. Bird Looks over the timeline. 13 on the clock, shot clock. Here's Bird manning up tight on him. Bird leans to the three.
Yes! In your face, he gives Bannister 5.
Misses 2. Makes a big one here with 2:45 to go. And the Clippers one timeout. They're down 7. Olden Polynice, he's back in the ball game for the Clippers.
Yeah, he's limping a bit, but oh wow, Harper
Just come beautifully off the pick. Great pass by Grant to spring him loose. It's knocked away by Grant, but it'll remain Celtics ball.
I'll tell you, that was beautiful display of Bird's greatness. You know, he's struggling, hangs in, not ready to quit, and then applies what could be the backbreaker.
31 points for Ron Harper. Reggie gives to McHale down on his knees. It's going to be a pull-up now by Grant. They had a 3-on-1. They give to Harper. Reggie's going to force him to the left. And Reggie comes strong for the rebound. Wait a minute. It was D. Brown came strong. As Polynice is just going to put it back in as all the Celtics ran to the penetration.
The good news is it's only the 4th team foul. Yeah, everyone trying to help Reggie now with Harper. And Brown coming in from the weak side picks up his 3rd and team's 4th.
I think Harper's going to see a lot of the basketball in this last minute 54.
Harper calls up help.
Out of bounds.
Off his foot. Reggie moves in, forces a turnover.
Now Reggie's trying to send him to his left as the pressure defense right now. They're getting up tight on D. Brown.
Tell you, rookie's not doing bad getting it over half court against extreme pressure. Clock down to 9.
Reggie Lewis pull-up is blocked. And Harper has it. Reggie comes away with it. And D. Brown stepped in and made it a tough shot. Woo. And the Celtics want timeout right now to try and get something good as they lead by 5. What a miss by Harper that time.
You can't jump over even when you've got a vertical leap like Lewis. Takes it into the pack, gets rejected, but hangs in. Look at that pursuit. First, a good body defense by D. Brown causes the miss, and then Reggie with the good defensive pursuit clutches that all-important rebound.
They give to Reggie, and it's a trap defense as D. Brown hard to the hoop, goes with the left hand. I don't know why he doesn't use the right.
I know it. You know, he gets it in there. He does all the tough work and then creates the toughest opportunity for himself. Watch this now. He gets by his man, blows into Smith, and takes it with that inside hand, which makes it a tougher shot instead of just a little, you know, goes with his strong hand, and he's got 2 points easily.
Well, he makes the first free throw. D. Brown is 7 for 10.
I guess Beasley Butler's, hey, I got you 2, right?
Could have had 3. Celtics up by 7. Coming up to a minute.
Only give him 1.
Manning working one-on-one. Gets McHale. His fall away. Bounces around. Tipped by McHale to D. Brown.
That was a strange decision by the Clippers going at McHale in a crucial situation. I don't care what the matchup is. That's the strongest defense by the C's.
Down to 10 seconds on the shot clock, and Garland fouls D. Brown. And that will put D up the line for 2.
And the Celtics came in here 6-0 at the Sports Arena against the Clippers, and it looks like they're going to keep that record unblemished as the sellout crowd starts to head for the parking lot.
Well, you know, you got to have guys to make shots coming down the stretch, and I don't think they really know who's going to be their go-to guy at the end of a ball game as D. Brown makes 2.
That's the
bumps the lead to 9, and there's timeout called by the Clippers.
That's the knock on them. They claim, other than front office, the media here just hammers the lack of leadership in the front office, but it's extended on the court. No one wants to step forward. Here's Bird's backbreaker. Fakes using the Parish pick, and as the defense collapses, he steps back. Watch him now. Well, we didn't see it. Watch him give Bannister the sign for the high five, and Bannister gives it back to him.
No wonder they don't have leadership. You would have punched him in the mouth.
Exactly. At least kick him in the groin or something nasty, you know. God bless it.
What would Arnold have said if he'd ever seen that?
Bannister would have been banished to the hinterlands, at least CBA or Italy or somewhere. Eat Italian food the rest of your life.
One of the things, Goose, that seems to be a problem here, too, is nobody knows that Mike Schuler is going to be the coach. There's all kinds of stories circulating that Tarkanian is going to leave UNLV. His wife made a statement that at the last home game that UNLV played, in essence, we'll be leaving.
Yeah, it was in the past tense, like we've enjoyed our stay here and see you later. I think it'd be a mistake on Tarkanian's part, and I think it's been a continuing mistake on the part of Clipper management to keep changing coaches. I mean, a weaker team needs continuity. They need someone to build confidence in them, and changing coaches every 6 months certainly doesn't create that kind of an atmosphere.
I'll tell you, they got the horses right now. They just got to iron it out and let people develop into roles. And Mike Schuler really used a lot of people tonight very effectively. They go to Harper. He's trying to launch a three. He gets it off and give it to him.
He's done it all tonight, Mr. Harper.
And the foul will be on Harper. Harper now has 34 points. And Chris Ford is looking up and saying, whew,
well,
this is a tough one.
As we said on top, there's the Harper three-pointer. They got to be still sick in Cleveland, I would think, about letting him go, because, he clashed a little bit. Lenny Wilkins is a fine coach. He's a structured, disciplined coach, and he likes to run tight half court and all, and Harper's always been a little bit of a loose cannon, but you got to live with that if you've got a guy with the skills and talent that this young man has,
Well, the Clippers want another timeout as they're down 8 with 28.9 seconds to go. And the timeout situation right now is they have one full timeout left, as do the Celtics. But you look at the Celtics right now, Kuz, they had to work hard for this win.
Well, we offered Chris Ford on top 3 out of 5. He shrugged it off and said he wanted all 5. This is one of, if you're looking on paper, obviously this is one that they had to win. Not only if he wants to win all 5, but for a successful road trip. I'll tell you, that game on Sunday is going to be a bear. Portland was very impressive to me in Boston. I mean, they are such a physical team. They take everything to the basket. They'll take the shot from outside, but I mean, when they need it, they just bring it into the paint and just overwhelm you with their athleticism. So that one Sunday is not going to be a sure W, regardless of what Chris wants. Then they go where? To Sacramento, and again on paper that figures to be a win. Utah's going to be very tough, and they finish in Washington. Although Washington beat them there the last time, so that's certainly not a sure win. So I think 3 out of 5 would be a successful Western trip. They had 4 out of 5 the first time around. So, not too many teams that go out west and
well, I think tonight
do that well.
Chris Ford, what he did, Kuz, to my way of thinking, was he was forced away from quickness as the quicker, bigger front line, or the quick, big front line of the Clippers took its toll, and Chris was forced to use the zap boys rather than the zippers. And it paid off with McHale and Robert didn't have a particularly outstanding offensive evening, but he certainly was very effective on the boards. Ends up with 18 rebounds. And McHale, pretty effective as they go to Charles Smith. Give him the 2. It's down to 6 points. Waiting for somebody to break free.
Spread it out. work free and get it in Mr. Bird's hands. He'll take care of the rest. This is when he really functions well. And with that said, he lobs one up there that is stolen by Harper.
Well, they've cut it to 4 with 6.9 seconds to go. Wait a minute. They got to inbound this thing now. It gets to McHale, back to Bird. And there will be a foul called, and that will put, I believe, a foul is on Harper. And McHale is walking to the free throw line. Harper now has 36 points, and that is his season high.
Yeah. He is a multi-talented player. And as we said on top of the show, I think, you know, in terms of Celtics transitional defense, they had to get back because Harper and Grant didn't do much damage tonight. But talked about how effective Harper can be in the open court, especially if he develops a hot hand, and he did that early. He had only 6 in the first quarter, then chipped in with 10 in the second, 9 in the third, and he's got 11 here in the last quarter.
Cal comes up with his 16th point, and they will burn the last timeout for the Clippers. But when you look at this ball game, Kuz, not an easy win without Brian Shaw. He has made the trip, and they're looking for him to come back and may potentially play on Sunday. I think they need him. Danny Ainge and the Trailblazers await the Celtics as the road trip continues into Portland this Sunday evening. Don't miss the action beginning at 10 o'clock right here on the Fox 25 Sports Network.
Yeah, that's going to be a war. Portland at the moment is the projected NBA winner, but those things by the so-called experts around the league. But things have a habit of changing in that regard. They're writing Detroit off because of the injuries in terms of a third championship. And based on what I've seen now of the NBA teams, the Lakers are struggling a bit at this point. I guess you'd have to make them the favorites, but it's certainly not a sure thing.
Well, they have yet to prove that they can win the big one. They went on a road trip and got beaten several times, Portland, on an extended road trip. Came back but have maintained their position in their conference and in the league. And are going to have this whole entire week off to lick any wounds they might have had. But they are such a versatile basketball team because they got size and they've got speed. And they've got depth on the bench.
I think they've got the strongest bench in the league now. They've added Ainge and Davis. And the kid from Connecticut, Cliff Robinson, is playing extremely well, having by far his best year. So that probably is where they're going to hurt teams in the playoffs more than any other.
Wimble shot, rims it. Pulled down by Reggie. So the Celtics fight off a very determined bid by the Clippers and an outstanding performance by Ron Harper. And they win 104-98. We'll be back. At the Sports Arena, where the Celtics really had to fight hard for this one, minus Brian Shaw, and against a great effort by Ron Harper. They end up with a 104-98 win. And the final stats for this evening, here's the Clippers take 100 shots, hit 43%. Celtics, many fewer shots, shoot 45%, but look at the free throws, Kuz. 36-13. I didn't think that would hold up in the second half, but it did, and the Celtics hit 30 of those shots. Rebounds, kind of even. Turnovers, Boston falls under pressure. And here is the leading scorers. Bird had 22, a big three coming down the stretch. Reggie Lewis hit a couple down in the fourth quarter when they needed it. D. Brown, very solid effort once again for him. McHale 16, Parish 13, did not have a hot night. Kevin Gamble found it for 12. Harper, a big player out here this evening, scores 36. Manning had 16, missed the key shot. Charles Smith, who was really hot in the first half, did not see many opportunities to score in the second half, had 15. Polonese 13, Grant 6, and Garland 6. And Kuz, Larry Bird hit the big one.
He only had 3 in the last quarter, 22 for the game, but this was the backbreaker. Step back off the Parish pick and just knocks it home after having shot a couple of air balls just prior to that. But again, that's the greatness of Bird. You know, he's got that kind of confidence. He's done it so often over the years that it is so important to have him in there at that point of the game. Good offensive distribution by the C's. 6 guys in double. Had some soft moments off the boards, but ended up almost out rebounding him. Only fell behind by 1. And defensively, as we said on top, they needed the good D, and that's what they did. They held them to 43% shooting.
Well, it was a workmanlike effort, a tough win for the Celtics. They come away winning by 6. So once again, this is Tommy Heinsohn and Bob Cousy from the Los Angeles Sports Arena, bidding you farewell and good evening as the Celtics win 104-98. And now, back to Jimmy.